One evening last month, shortly after the ponds froze, I was having dinner with some friends. A young man named Caleb was there, and he mentioned that he'd spent several hours that afternoon skating on Horseleech Pond. The frozen surface, he said, was all black ice, and so clear that he could see lost fishing lures on the bottom 20 feet below him. Caleb said he enjoyed it so much that he was thinking of going back out there later that night when the moon would be almost full. Whether he did or not, I suddenly knew that I would have to see such a sight for myself. So at 10:30 I pulled into the small parking area beside the pond and walked out onto its frozen surface. The moon, one day past full, was nearly at its zenith overhead, hanging like a mirrored globe over a ballroom. Caleb was right. The pond was a perfect sheet of ice, as smooth and clear as a polished dance floor. If I'd simply come upon it unawares, I'd probably have thought that it was calm, open water and would never have thought of venturing out on it. Walking out onto the ice gave me the strange feeling of walking out onto a great glass-topped coffee table. Even by moonlight, I could see the bottom clearly at depths of several feet. I walked over miniature green forests of bottom growth that were absolutely still and sealed, a world under glass. As I got further out toward the center of the pond, I could no longer see the bottom. The only marks on the surface, except for a few stress cracks, were some wide-spaced skate blade scratches, no doubt those made by Caleb earlier in the day. Remarkably, as I walked across it, the ice made not the slightest sound, not even when I jumped on it. There were no whoops or cracks of protest from the ice, just a perfect, frozen, silent pond. Nor were there any sounds coming from the shore, no wind in the trees, no courting owls, though this is their time of year to woo. There was only the soft, distant, muffled beating of the ocean's surf beyond the great hill of dune separating the pond from the beach. I went running and sliding across the pond into the northern cove where a pair of summer cottages sat along the shore, their windows dark and silent. They seemed like dream houses there in the full, stark moonlight, as if dreaming of the vanished summer life they held. And then, as I started back across the pond, I saw something totally unexpected on the bottom. My shadow. Unlike most shadows, this one was clearly separated from me, detached and independent there on the floor of the pond. I was seized by a sudden impulse to dance with it, and so we twirled and glided across the ice, together but detached, my black doppelganger and I, in a synchronized ballet around the perfect rim of the pond, as the white moon revolved slowly overhead above the dark, illuminated waters.